The most prominent example of climate change is global warming, which is when the temperature of the environment of the atmosphere increases. So we just have to look at the chart of temperatures and see the climate change in action, right? Well, here it is. And here we're working with temperature anomalies, which is the difference between the actual value and the normal value of a place. So we can see how much it increased or decreased. This makes a fair comparison between places, let's say in Vietnam and the North Pole, which normally have very different normal temperatures. But the temperature alone does not tell the whole story, right? We have to go to the root of the problem. So here, our hypothesis is that CO2 and greenhouse gas in general is the main cause of climate change. So let's test the hypothesis, right? Let's look at a chart of CO2 emissions over the years and see if it is similar to the chart of temperatures. And as you can see, it has a very similar tendency of increasing in the recent years. And there is also a technical term for this, which is correlation coefficient. It indicates the similarities in the tendency of two variables here, temperatures and CO2 emissions. But what causes that amount of CO2? So here we're looking at a secondary source, which is an individual research. And we can see that industries and related fields like energy, transportation, and even agriculture, they play a big part in emitting CO2 in climate change. And you think about it, companies, they want to tell you that you're the problem because, well, they doesn't want to change. They want to squeeze every last drop of their profit for their own benefit, that you won't get any. That's why I'm here. This is Thủ Đức, near the new Fulbright campus, which there's a lot of factories around here. There's also one more thing that I have not tell you that yet. The correlation does not mean causation, right? Just because two variables are similar does not mean that A causes B. And so we have to look at a different example. Here, I will compare the climate change between countries with various degrees of industrialization. And what we can see here is that China and the US, they suffer from a lot higher degree of climate change compared to Vietnam, even though the temperatures are really, really high. Yeah, they started industrialization where climate change were not even a thing. And so, if you take away anything from this video, I want you to remember that, well, everyone plays their role, and sometimes there are people who want to tell you otherwise. See you again. Goodbye.